So I made a video ranking every Drake and Josh episode, and so I made a like goal where it's like, if I got 30 likes, I will cover the movies, and it reached the goal. So today, let's dive into the Drake and Josh movies to see if they're any good. The movie starts off with Josh being accepted into this creative writing class that no one seems to care that he got into. Then it cuts to Drake's gig being canceled, but instead he got booked at a retirement home. It then cuts to Josh trying to figure out what to write about for his creative writing class, the subject being a great adventure, even though he could just make it up. But okay. We then cut back to the retirement home where Drake is scaring all the old people because of his new machine. Back to Josh, he still can't think of anything, and Josh now thinks he's boring. Drake then makes Josh his band manager. It then cuts to Drake and Josh's parents leaving for a cruise, with Drake and Josh being responsible for taking Megan to the airport. They then put her on the wrong plane to LA. We then get some exposition about someone stealing a money printer from DC, the official money printer that he used to print money for the government. Drake and Josh then go on a plane to LA to go meet Megan, but Josh is having the worst luck on the plane and Drake is having the best luck on the plane. We then cut to Megan getting a limo at the airport and then getting a fancy hotel. We then cut to this one guy on the plane who seems to be involved with the counterfeiting money thing, which Josh starts seeing next to him after he got tired of those other people that he was sitting with. Anyways, hijinks ensue, and now the other guy has Josh's MP3 player, and Josh has the device to unlock the money printer. Drake and Josh get off the plane and are worried about Megan, while she's basically recruiting Home Alone 2. So Megan finally tells Drake and Josh where she's at, and then while Josh is in the restroom, he comes across this record guy looking for someone to fill in. He manages to convince the guy to get Drake to perform. While at the hotel picking Megan up, the two guys confront Drake and Josh about the Geo, or the MP3 player, and Josh knowing what's on the Geo, with the two guys chasing Drake and Josh with the Geo. And so they steal Tony Hawk's car, and they basically kidnap Drake and Josh with Megan still at the hotel, with Megan finding out where Drake and Josh are via the bad guys leaving their wallet at the hotel. Jeez, what amateurs, they can't even take their wallet with them. They basically throw him in like a makeshift jail because rap snitch malicious. Basically, they plan on killing Drake and Josh because they don't want him to snitch on them. Anyways, Drake and Josh are tied up with Megan calling the police, but her phone's breaking up, so she goes towards them. And Megan creates a distraction with the money printer with the whole AC unit going off, and Drake and Josh get chased off until they eventually escape with the police arriving. And they don't charge Drake and Josh for stealing Tony Hawk's car because Tony Hawk said he would have done the same thing. Anyways, Drake arrives at a concert and performs very well. And this is actually technically canon since they bring up Really Big Shrimp. This sets up the plot for Really Big Shrimp. So yeah, it is technically canon that Drake and Josh committed Grand Theft Auto. In my opinion, this movie is just okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I mentioned in my Drake and Josh video that some aspects of the show have not aged well. Well, this goes double for this movie actually, because it just feels really tropey with bringing random criminals who commit crimes with counterfeit cash. Like, it kind of comes out of a left field when you really think about Drake and Josh. But as I said before, it's just okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Anyways, moving on to the next movie. Now, believe it or not, this actually came out after the show already ended. It was released in 2008, a year after the show ended. And it's a fucking Christmas movie. All the homies say fuck Home Alone, we watch Merry Christmas Drake and Josh. The plot is about Drake and Josh's parents being out of town. Again, why did they go out of town again? Everything bad seems to happen when they go out of town. The plot is about Drake throwing a party at the roof of the premiere, and it turns out Helen also got divorced and kills Josh.
Man up in the sky. That's my snowman. Your snowman? Yeah.
And the movie ends. No, I'm kidding, about Josh being dead. The divorce part is very much real. So Drake is now playing the role of Santa, and they even point out that Josh lost weight. We then cut to Drake and Josh's parents being on vacation, and it being asked to a bad paradise place. We then cut to Drake being Santa and Josh being his sack. Pause. Being Santa's bag that he holds all the toys. Then a girl who doesn't understand no means no comes up to Drake and demands a kiss from Drake. Drake then comes across this one girl who he promises to give the best Christmas to because he's disguised as Santa. We then cut to Drake performing Christmas songs at the premiere. We then cut to Mindy leaving the party with Josh and Mindy saying goodbye because she's visiting her grandma for Christmas, with it bumming out Josh. We then cut to Crazy Steve being batshit insane with him falling in love with a wood chipper. These guys then start ruining the party and Josh calls the police, which the police start targeting him for some reason, and they then tip him off to the roof where he lands in the truck of the people that were ruining the party. But instead of arresting the other guys, they arrest Josh instead. I swear, they're arresting the wrong Drake and Josh brother. Josh then goes to prison where he's greeted by his cellie played by Kimbo Slice, RIP. Kimbo then plans on making Josh his bitch. Josh shows him a magic trick in which he's cool with Bludge, who is Kimbo's in-character name. But Bludge still has to beat him up because it's prison. Drake gets scanned by a fake lawyer, so no money for Josh. So back to Drake. The girl from Aura, you know, the one that Drake promised a good Christmas? Well, she knows Drake and gives her address, which, yikes. But it's so he can give her family a good Christmas because her family is a foster family, where her foster mom is really sick, and damn, this got really dark really fast. So Drake feels like he has to give her a good Christmas because he feels bad. We then cut to Josh back in prison where Drake attempts to break him out so he can give the girl a good Christmas, with Kimbo basically having to knock out Josh so Drake can take him, but they get caught. Helen is presenting Drake and Josh, which she bails her out with the whole Christmas promise thing, but if they didn't give her her best Christmas, they will go to jail. So the stakes are high, either give this girl a good Christmas or go to jail. Drake and Josh then get a parole officer and they have to wear an ankle monitor. Throughout the movie, this parole officer keeps messing with them on some 10-penny shit.
What's this?
Tickets for reckless driving.
$400?
Yeah.
With them at one point paying someone to strip them butt naked.
Okay.
So their parole officer Perry keeps doing this and keeps giving them tickets, which makes it even harder to give them presents. Even at one point, they get Megan to mess with him and get them to stop following them via putting their trackers from the ankle monitors and a drone. She's only doing this for a fancy new oboe, which Drake lies about later. So Drake and Josh with the foster kids do the typical holiday shit like cutting down a tree, getting a Christmas tree, shit like that. So yeah. So after Drake and Josh start bonding with the kids, the parole officer gets Crazy Steve to yell about the whole deal, in which the court ordered them not to expose it to the kids, otherwise that would influence their vote. Which the foster family comprises of Mary Alice, the kid that Drake promised, and then we have Luke, the loner who looks after the kids when their father is at work. We have Willie and Violet, the twins. We have the foreign boy Ziegvief, who speaks an unknown language. Then we all have Trey, and then, yeah. I totally didn't look it up on Google because I forgot. But after the foster kids find out about the deal, they're completely, mad at them. And I kid you not, they rip a scene from the Jim Carrey's Grinch where Drake and Josh visit his mom to find out why he hates Christmas. And the reason why the parole officer hates Christmas? Well, that's because he got his ass kicked by a monkey, because he wanted a monkey when he was younger.
God save me from that crash, just so I could beat Pete Davidson's ass.
And so Drake and Josh give him a monkey. And so Drake and Josh go to create a snow for them by using Sally, Crazy Steve's wood chipper. Which that doesn't create snow, that more still creates really sharp ice. But it's the thought that counts, right? So the foster family forgive Drake and Josh for at least trying to do something good for them. And so when Drake and Josh wake up, it turns out they're going to jail. But psych, no they're not. The foster family throws them a good Christmas for at least trying to make theirs good. So Drake and Josh aren't going to jail tonight. Also, Bludge comes through to give the kids a great Christmas with presents, and also gives Megan her clarinet or something. When they go outside and turns out it's snowing, but it's actually cheese. So it just looks like snow, but they're playing with cheese. But Drake and Josh's parents come home after their awful vacation. And then the movie ends. You're probably gonna hate me for this, but I think the Christmas movie is actually better than the Hollywood one. Hear me out. It could be ironically funny at some points, while the Hollywood movie barely got a chuckle out of me. Now, it's not like The Room where it's everything is so bad that's good. It's more so a joke that wasn't intended to be that funny becomes funny. But overall, I just liked it for being just a simple Drake and Josh story, not having counterfeit bills being thrown into the mix. But overall, it's a good movie. My final thoughts on the Drake and Josh movies were, the first one was alright, but I wasn't a huge fan of the first. The second one surprised me since the sequels usually actually suck. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you're having a good one, and goodbye.